the tools and the mechanics and so on are still just as important. And this is my issue actually on the other side, with people that are big social media evangelists and people that call themselves social media gurus and ninjas and whatever they call themselves. They want to kill off traditional media, which I'm okay with, but they want to kill off all the tradition that came with it, all the logic that came with it, and all the hard-learned skills that came with it as well, and they want to start afresh. And you see a load of these digital agencies that have nobody in there that's worked with traditional media, and they're completely lost. They don't know anything about metrics or anything like that, and some of them are just making it up as they go along. So you still need the background, you still need the people with experience to tell you what works and what doesn't work. And Ogilvy's book especially, I think, is really, really good for that. And on this idea of not needing traditional media, there's a post here on, I wrote a piece for, I'll get to that comic book interview in a second, but I wrote a piece for Irish Comic News. So I have a guy that works for me, Tommy, that he's a comic book artist, so I get him to actually do comics for me. So it's great when you work for yourself because you can justify to your accountant getting a comic made. Just a whole big ego trip for you right here, but it's a brochure. Same as a brochure for a company, but it's just done in comic style. And I wrote a piece for Tommy for his website, and the whole piece on this was about damage and how you can root around damage. And I see media nowadays especially as being damaged, that a lot of the local print sheets are really insistent on you buying advertising. So if you want a story in the paper, you know, actually taking out an ad as well. And again, ads aren't effective, and probably the coverage isn't effective as well. So I wrote this piece, and it's worth reading. I can email around to you later on, or just do a Google for Irish Comic News and Mulley, it'll pop up there. What it talks about nowadays, we can do that if media isn't working for us, we can go elsewhere. And the crowd is going elsewhere, and we can follow that crowd. And we can go after the marketplace, wherever it is. And for me, it really is online. So there's a couple of links there. One is to a guy called Kevin Kelly, who wrote a piece called 1,000 True Fans, saying that if you're a business, you should really be going after just 1,000 customers, but treat them like fans, and respect them, and listen to them, and give them what they're looking for, and give them exclusives, and so on. And he said, if you're an artist or a company and you've got 1,000 true fans, you can maintain yourself. You won't become a multi-millionaire or a mega-millionaire, but you'll get a livelihood from just looking after 1,000 people that are interested in your product, and you're interested in them as a result. It's a really, really good piece to read. It's very inspiring. And there's another piece then by a guy called Mark Andreessen called Software is Eating the World. So Mark Andreessen founded Netscape. He founded a company called Opsware and sold for a couple of billion. He's a venture capitalist. He's on the board of Facebook. And he lists all the ways, and actually, hilariously enough, it's written in the Wall Street Journal, and it's all on about how software people in particular can disrupt industries. So software disrupted print and destroyed print. It's doing the same with radio. It's doing Napster did it with music as well. Distributed iTunes are doing it with record labels. Amazon are doing it especially now that Amazon are a publisher themselves. And Kindle means that you can just publish direct to your users. You don't need the middlemen anymore in book companies and publishing companies. So again, it's this idea of if stuff isn't working, we can move around it. And nowadays we should be demanding metrics and showing if stuff is being seen. We can measure people coming to our website and see where they've gone on our website, what journey they did through our website, and where they bought something from us or not, and where they came from. So, ranting a little bit here, but the piece by Andreessen is here, and it's a very good, it's kind of tech heavy, but the same rule set applies for any industry or any business. And it talks about just being clever and creating your own content if needs be. So in this piece that I wrote, we talked about the fact that we don't need media anymore, but we can be our own media. And so this is the next thing I want to talk about. A lot of time now, this guy called Brian Solis, he's a PR guy, and he wrote a blog post years back at this stage. He said, just 20,000 people follow me on Twitter, and I'm meant to be pitching into a magazine that has 10,000 readers. Why should I be going into that magazine anymore when I can get to more people from just doing a couple of tweets? And it can be the same for businesses. There's a lot of businesses out there. There's a company here, they've got their European headquarters in Cork called Otterbox. They make cases for iPhones and Blackberries and so on. And they have 100,000 people on their Facebook page. And even for tech publications in America, if there was a ticket with ads in those tech publications, they wouldn't reach the same volumes on their Facebook page. So you can be your own media nowadays without using media. I did a conference earlier this year called Measurements.ie, so the website is measurement.ie, and it was a social media metrics conference. It was up in Dublin in National College of Ireland. And all the tickets were sold because of tweets, because of Twitter. Twitter account just said, tickets are on sale, they're at this price, tickets are at this price, tickets are going well, they sold 20 tickets sold. And I didn't need traditional media. And one of the things I decided to do was I wouldn't send out a press release to any news organisation. I wouldn't ask them to give me coverage out. I wasn't going to take out ads or anything like that just to see whether I'd sell or not. I sold 250 tickets without ever having to do that. Done Deal was the headline sponsor. Done Deal have a very large, so it would be actually a PR company, and the OLB group, and they wanted to send out press releases. So they sent out press releases to people about the conference just to say Done Deal was sponsoring it. And it got zero coverage. No one covered it whatsoever, even though it came from the biggest PR agency in the country. No one was interested. The following day, though, the Irish Times wrote a really good piece in the media marketing section. Laura Slattery did the piece. She's a very good journalist and has a very good future. She did a piece on it. She wasn't there at the conference, but we live streamed it. So we just had a video camera at the back, we streamed it, plugged it into the audience, people were watching. It was about 100 people on average, I think, were watching the stream from their offices that would be there. The kind of PR hook or marketing hook for that as well is Done Deal gives you additional value by allowing you to access the conference for free. So Done Deal were obviously happy with that. But Laura watched it at her desk. While she was doing other work, she had the stream playing in the background on her computer. And from that, she took notes and she wrote a piece as a result of it. So we got Irish Times coverage, not because of the press releases or anything like that, but because we just provided a live stream and she gave us coverage like that. But the web awards that I'm doing at the moment, tickets are going on sale for a good long while, but it will be because of Facebook and because of Twitter that those tickets will sell. And I saw someone complaining on Twitter this week, giving out to her enterprise board that her enterprise board didn't inform her that the Web Awards competition was open. And she was giving them shit for not informing her. And I'm going, you're a website owner, you should be on the web knowing that this is on. And people talking about it. If you're on Twitter, you should have seen all the updates from other people about her anyway. But she was blaming the enterprise board, and they were apologetic for not letting her know about stuff that was relevant to her own website. So, for me and for my business, and I know it's digital a lot of the time, but you don't need media to sell tickets like that. And there might be some businesses whose core demographic only reads certain sections of the Irish Times, and if that's the case, fair enough, you don't need digital marketing. You might need to get into the paper that way. But for the vast majority of people, they are all online, and there's some space that you can type into to do that. I've been suggesting to James that you get Dara from Harry Bailey to come up, Dara Murphy. We just talked about how he uses Facebook to sell t-shirts. And it's very interesting. I met him on Monday, and he was just telling me all the techniques he uses on Facebook. And he talked about how he was a fool, he said, to do it, but he took out advertising in a paper, talked about Harry Bailey t-shirts, and he got 0 sales from it. Whereas when he does a status update, he can track directly sales from that status update. Or from what website's talking about, you can see a surge in traffic. He's doing the Father Ted's t-shirts. So the official Father Ted t-shirts now are done by Harry Bailey, and their service is tedtees.com. And he talked about Graham Lennon. When Graham Lennon, he's got 200,000 Twitter followers. When Graham Lennon tweets about the Ted Tees website, he crashes the website because he sends so many people at once to it. And like Neil Gaiman, the author, he has 3 million followers on Twitter. And he knows, and Stephen Fry said, they no longer will tweet directly to a website because so many people will click on the link in one space of time that it will crash the servers no matter how ready they are for that search. So someone's come up with some crazy ass service that they'll put a link through this service, and then they'll tweet that link that's gone through the service, and the service will hold the load, will distribute to 200,000 or a million people that are clicking that link at the same time, so it doesn't crash the servers. And you're reaching millions sometimes with some of these people, and so working with them, doing partnerships with them, or creating your own space online to get people to come to you is kind of just as effective, or sometimes more effective. I'm just going to highlight one or two things that I did. I don't jump on around the place. I give PowerPoint presentations about 5 days a week on average, and I'm fatigued from PowerPoint at the moment, so this is why you're getting me just looking at stuff on the internet. Barry's tea. They started getting things printed up last year, boxes with John's tea, Mary's tea. You can buy it, I think, in their online store. And there was billboards around Cork City, if you remember last year, with Santa's tea up on the billboards. And so I know the people inside Barry's tea for a couple of years at this stage, and their marketing agency as well, because they're proud of thinkers. And I said they should do something with those Santa tea boxes, and they had a printer so they could print them up. So what I suggested was that they send these boxes of tea to people who have kids where Santa is visiting. Households where Santa is visiting, we basically sent boxes of tea to them. And all I did was I asked on Twitter, people that follow me, asked them, who here has Santa visiting them this year? I said, we want to do something. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but we want to do something. So could you click on this link, fill in the form with your name and your address, and that's it. And so loads of people filled it in. I think about 80 or 90 people filled it in. And so what Barry's tea did was they sent a box of tea at the start of December to all these households with a little note. You can see the note at the end. It's basically a note from Barry's tea saying, we heard that Santa's visiting, and we heard that Santa every now and again likes a cup of tea. So here's a box of Santa's tea just for Santa, and as well as that, it's not just for Santa, you can also, avail of this yourself for guests and so on. And sent it out. And I got a nice little bit of coverage again on Twitter. And didn't need traditional media to get people on Twitter talking about Santa's tea, and other people then talking about Santa's tea, where to get Santa's tea, and it just propagated from there. And then Barry's tea was telling people about, well, if you can buy it on our online store, if you want to click on this link, they were getting sales that way too. And I think the business post picked up on it anyway, without having to be prompted saying this is a nice little thing before Christmas. And I saw some tweets from people about this, saying how their kids would allow them to open the box of tea in advance. That only when Santa came and visited and had his cup of tea would the rest of the household be allowed to avail of the bags. And guys arguing with their 6-year-old daughters going, there's 100 bags here, we can take one. No, it'll only be open for Santa, and that's it. So it was a nice little thing that was done like that. Other things I've done are these comic book things. So the reason I started this was I saw Tommy tweet about he was looking for work, so he was trying to do the comics full time, and it wasn't working for me, he wasn't making any money. So I said, well, I'd like Tommy to do some sort of logo for me, and I needed stationery because I wanted thank you notes. And then I'm thinking, this guy's a comic book artist, I should do something around the comic book. So decided to get into a comic book, and I would never, ever, ever do brochures. Complete waste of time. So I got him to do a comic. So this is issue 1 of the comic, which is a collector's item now if you can get hold of it. And it's just me, and in a way, instead of writing a blog post, it's just me explaining in the comic how you can use digital media effectively and what you need to do and so on. It's not that hard. So I was thinking it did get me as well. It was Tommy's idea to dress me up as Willy Wonka, not me, but it was good. And again, got a lot of coverage, and I sent out, I think, about 100 copies to people, because I had just a database of people on Twitter that had signed up to get weird crap from me, and that was one of them. And a couple of crowds got onto Tommy as a result of that, and got him to do the same thing. So, newsletter.ie, newsletter service, asked him to do a version of a comic like this, but with Mad Men type characters about using mail shots and using newsletters and so on. A couple of other crowds got on to him to do the same as well, just doing this and putting stuff in comic book style. So I brought a couple of these out. This is version 2.